Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the jar. I didn't forget to upload for 2 months. You did. Also, I didn't forget. I was just really busy with school and finals and stuff. So, now that that's all done, we can still get weekly eps, maybe bi-weekly eps to make up for the lost time over the summer? Question mark. But yeah, it's Sizzle season. It's out. It's real. We're gonna talk about it. But first I gotta do some updates. I'm gonna sip water. Hang on. Water has been sipped. We're gonna just play S-Blast and Gear Grind and talk about the new season and my thoughts on it in general, because I think it's interesting. Let's put it that way. It has cemented the one step forward, two steps back thing that I've been feeling about this game for a while. Because we got a lot of great new features, we got a lot of cool new weapons. But a lot of the new features are also kind of terrible in their execution, and all the new weapons are kind of terrible in their kits. And this is something I've been feeling across the board with this game, but we'll get to that in a minute. Some life updates. It's summer, I'm out. I got a new job, which will be nice. I'm waiting for them to get back to me, but I should start that soon. So that'll be fun. I'll have some more doubloons to mess around with for content stuff over the summer and for some personal stuff too, which will be nice. So that's fun. I'm looking forward to that. My school year was hell, and I'm very glad I got it. Next year will be better by a landslide. I don't have to take Spanish or science class next year, which is a massive dub because I am terrible at science, and I don't like learning Spanish in a classroom setting, but I will continue to learn it on my own, because I enjoy it. So I'm really looking forward to that. Besides that, yeah. Just in general, I'm doing better. I'm feeling a lot better. I've been having a lot more fun with just life in general. That's one. Give me a second. I should have just jumped and shot. I would have hit it. It's fine. Do I have anything else to add? From my life? Oh, hot tub stream is coming soon. Very soon, actually, in fact. I have not forgotten, and I have not broken my promise, I swear. It's just been a little more complicated, and things have not worked out the way I thought they were going to in terms of some other aspects of my life that were going to change how and when I was going to do it, but now that I have it fully figured out, I am perfectly content doing it how I basically originally had planned. So that's happening soon, which is cool. Oh, come on. That should... Okay. You know what? That's fine. Fish is dead. The fish stream is dead. I'm not gonna do that before college. Sorry, boys. The Jardonian fish tank is not going to happen. But when I move to my basement, you guys will... I'll set up a tank cam for my big one we have downstairs. I gotta actually rescape it. It's kind of an empty mess. It's not a mess. It's fine. It's just, like, sad. So I'll probably do that. And then... What else? That's kind of about it for my personal life, I suppose. Oh, my dog's trapped in my room. Hang on. 2. Nope. Can never get Blue Charger. Can never get him. No matter how hard I try. Oh, and I've been obsessed with Tears of the Kingdom. That'll be the next episode. I'm just gonna mess around in that, and you guys will get to see some of the world. I won't do any story stuff. It'll just be me exploring more, probably caving some, finding some shrines or whatever, but nothing story spoilers, just some gameplay stuff. So that'll be next step, because I was very wrong about that game, but we'll talk more about that later. For now, I want to talk about this game in the Sizzle season and my thoughts on it and how... Yeah, I'm a little disappointed. Let's start with the positives. I like the new main weapons, and I think the choices are pretty okay for the new weapons that are getting them. It feels pretty varied now. Like, we actually got a new Splatana. We got a new Barella. Still no new Stringer. We won't get one till a year after release because this terrible update cycle, but you know. Cool. I like the new stage, actually. I don't think it's great. I just think it's okay by Splatoon 3 standards. So I think it'll see some niche play in Clam and maybe Rainmaker. But that's about it. I like the new music. I think ska fits the world of Splatoon really well. I'm a big fan of it. I think it works perfect. And I think the balance patch was okay. I think it had a lot of good changes. I think the splash change was a good start. I think the bubbler change was not enough, but it was a better start. There were some interesting changes to a lot of bug fixes, made Barellas good again. So I liked that. But what I didn't like was that Machine was probably over-nerfed, but I think it'll still be fine. They killed Stamper. My baby is dead. Not really. You just have to run main saver now, which I think making Splatana gear dependent is fine. I think it's really good right now, and I think making it gear dependent so that you can't just stack QR and just feed over and over again. I think that's a fine change. I'm okay with that, honestly. Stamp did not deserve to be nerfed at all. Rapid Deco did not deserve to be nerfed in any universe. And I would say, yeah, across the board, I think it was an okay update. Just okay. Not good, just okay. Because of a lot of bad things, which I'm gonna talk about right now. The most obvious thing is that the new kits are bad. They're not... Okay, let me put it this way. The kits aren't terrible. I think a couple of them work really well. And I think a couple of them are just bad. They're just bad. And I played them all, and for what it's worth, I did actually have fun with them. And the reason that I think most of the kits are bad, unfortunately, though, is just because of their sub-weapons, because they gave these things all utility subs. Every single new gun. There's not a single bomb in this update, besides technically Curling Bomb, but that is I would even argue that's a utility sub, because you're not using Curling Bomb as a bomb, you're using it as an entry tool. But across the board, I think most of the kits are not great. And this weapon epitomizes that. And it's not even because of how they're designed. I think how they choose to design kits is really smart. Like, I think this kit, if Sprinkler was if it had a sub and a special that, like, functioned as subs and specials, it would be fine, because Reef Slider helps it get in on occasion when it really needs to against longer range options. And Sprinkler helps it with paint and getting more sliders so that I can get in more consistently and get in more. And I think that is a fine concept. The problem is, they don't consider how good things actually are before they just put them on things. Which means that, yeah, this kit's dead in the water because it just doesn't have a sub and special that can do anything. It's a great main weapon, but it doesn't have a good sub or special. And not all kits this season are that way, right? Like, there's a couple good ones. Like, Camo 10's gonna be great. Yeah, you see how I'm drawing a blank right now? That should answer your question about how good I think most of these kits are. And oh yeah, the new paintbrush is good actually. I won't lie. But besides that, it's like, you know, they're just I don't have anything to say about most of them. They're just not very good. Hang on. Let me clutch up. Goated slider at the end. Yeah, most of the kits are just not very good, and it's just because most of the utility subs in this game aren't very good. And a lot of the special choices are interesting. Let's put it that way. For what it's worth, I think a couple of them are all good. I think all of them in theory are good. Much like the sub-weapons. But a lot of them execution are very, very bad. And this is epitomized with Wiper Deco, which you might have noticed I don't even own. I'm not going to buy it at a protest. Because they put Wiper, the best painting weapon in the game, or arguably one of the best. It's not the very best, but it's the best one that's also useful as a main weapon. They gave it Beacon, which is great. Good for it. It works really well. It doesn't really need to sub that much, so having Beacon so it can just set up and then get back in is great. And then they gave it Tenna missiles. You know, the special that they were hesitant to give to things because of how powerful it is and how it does not fit in this game at all. Yeah, and then they gave it to the thing that paints the most. And also they gave it to the thing that can set up its own super jump point. So it can go all the way in, and then super jump back to spawn, pop missiles, and then super jump back into its own beacon. Yeah. Very intelligent thought process here. So, that sucks. It really sucks. And then they proceeded to make it 190p, which means you can literally get, like, 10 of them a match. We're looking at Splatoon 2 special numbers. Like, it's not good. It's bad for the game. And, I hate it. I hate that they've done this. And it epitomizes all my problems because they just think about how it would be in theory and don't put enough time into actually thinking about how it might be in execution. Which means that essentially you're kind of just stuck with what they think will be good in theory. Which means that things that don't, like, you know, really work in practice, like Sprinkler, get stuck on stuff that would just benefit from having anything else because the sub-weapon doesn't work. Or you get stuck with Reef Slider because the special just doesn't work. And it sucks. And there's nothing you can do about it. They can't change kits, and the devs don't fix their own, they don't fix their own game enough. They don't fix all these bad things that ruin kits. How did that work? Yeah, that's missiles right there. Love that. This is epitomized, and I feel like the devs might be a little self-aware, because the returning stage for this update was Humpback Pump Track, one of the worst stages in Splatoon 2. It became special spam because, let me put it this way, basically it's a big loop, and you run around the loop, and you fight in the loop, and you fight in the center of the loop. And this is okay in one specific mode, which is Rainmaker, where you get to move the objective at your own pace. But this becomes very quickly not okay in every other mode. Which is why Splat Zones Humpback is the single worst map mode in this game. It is worse than Mincemeat, and anything on Mincemeat in my opinion. Genuinely, it is terrible. Like, it's unacceptably bad. Hang on, I'm gaming. Like, it's bad, dude. And it incentivizes special spam, and in this game, with Crab Tank, it's even worse than it was in Splatoon 2. Because in that mode, you just had to missile and booyah the zone. But in this game, you get a 9-second long unbreakable crab that sits on perch, and you can't fight it because it'll just kill you. And it just gets to paint the zone and cap it for free. And that's it. GG's. Shake my hand. I don't know why they brought this stage back. There were better Splatoon 2 stages to bring back. There were a lot of better Splatoon 2 stages to bring back. And this one was bad in the last game, and it's even worse in this game. So I don't know why they brought it. I don't know why it's here. I don't know what it adds. The new stage is okay, though. I'll be honest, it's not perfect. Not even close. I would argue it's not even good, it's just okay. Yeah, okay, that I should have seen that coming. Look, it's not good. It's just okay, but its spawn is a lot bigger than I thought it would be, and it has a decent amount of routes around and out to mid. I just wish it had one more route that circumvented mid a little more. But across the board, I think it's fine. Tower Control I haven't played yet, but it looks miserable. But I think it was fine in Clam when I played it. I actually quite enjoyed Rainmaker when I played it. And I have seen zones. The zone is microscopic. So probably Reef Slider Cheese, and we'll see. But yeah, I think the new stage is okay, but it's not great. And I would like to comment on the new Salmon Run stage, but we haven't been able to play it yet because for some reason it's not available until this weekend. Good job, Nintendo. You make good decisions that are very intelligent and healthy for your game. Obviously. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. Yeah, that's the main stuff this season. Because that's it, basically, for the stuff that we have access to. There's a lot of stuff we don't have access to yet. Challenges, I like the concept of, but if they're actually going to be monthly, like they just said in their announcement post, it's going to be another worthless mode. Like, if these things are monthly, they mean nothing. I don't care. If they're, like, weekly, that's fine. That's interesting. But also, they did this Splatoon 2 Salmon Run thing again, where they artificially put it behind a time gate for no reason, and I don't know why. I don't know what the purpose was for putting them in these random 2-hour windows, but it's dumb and stupid. It should just be available for like 24 hours as like a side mode. Or even if you just want it to be the main mode. If it's just like one 24-hour thing, that's cool. Whatever, man. Like, I just don't... It's just the execution. It's always the execution, man. They always fumble the execution every time, and I don't get it. I don't understand why it is so hard for them to make just a good mode that is good on launch, and they don't have to fix later. They fumbled extra work by making it like teams only. They fumbled... They're probably going to fumble challenges. Like 95%. And they fumbled Tricolor. They still haven't even found a way to make Tricolor fun yet. And it just like... It really is one step forward, 2 steps back with this game. Because they're introducing a lot of good new modes and a lot of good new changes. And then they do something really stupid with them. And that sucks. It just sucks. There's no other way to put it. It's dumb and stinky and stupid. I like the new music though. I do really like the new music. I think the ska works great. I think for a lot of people who don't like the Splatoon like music choice of having like the Inkling language or whatever, I think they'll appreciate it because it's there a little bit, but it's a bit more of a background element. With a lot more focus on like the trumpets and the like. And I think that is cool. I like that. What was he cooking, bro? Got one. Yeah, but I think they'll like it. I also like the new lobby music. I think the new lobby music is good, too. They fixed Brellas. That's a positive I can say. Brellas function as the main weapon. They're still not great. I think Tent will be fine. But I think V-Brella and Undercover do still need some buffs. I think going back to pre-NPU damage would just be fine. What? Just bomb somewhere. Sure, okay. I think going back to pre-NPU damage would actually just be really good for Brella. I think it'd fix most of Brella's problems. So that would be my suggestion. But also, the dev team does not like to take our feedback in mind super often. So, you know, what do I know? It'll probably never get changed ever at any point in time. What else did they even add? Dude, I don't know. Oh, the changes to Anarchy Open are fine. People are, like, really pissy that League's not back, and I'm like, bro, we It takes me a minute to find a match in Turf War. We do not need our player base spread any more thin right now. We're fine. I think the devs knew that. And I'm okay with this compromise, because you can still get your ratings and stuff, and you can still just have fun in Anarchy Open. It doesn't... They don't contrast with one another. It works. I'm okay with it. I think it's a good change. I'll say my piece about the patches. Anything else? Anything else I feel the need to comment on? Oh, the Salmon Run changes are really hype. I think a lot of the changes they made for Salmon Run are great. In terms of weapons being more, like, useful. Like, Snipe Rider is, like, a usable gun now in that mode. Which is a sentence I did not think I'd ever be able to say again. What else? What else? I don't... oh, okay, I should just talk about the main weapons, for the new ones. They're both the two in the lobby right now, ironically. The Paintbrush and the S-Blaster 92. I'll start with the one that I care about the most, which is this guy, S-Blaster. I have said my piece about the kit. It is bad. But it's not as bad as I thought it would be, for what it is worth. I think Reef Slider does actually work pretty well to get in and is a good combo tool to jump shot. And I think that Sprinkler is fine in theory, but it needs buffs. But the weapon itself is very, very strong, and I like that. It's hard to use for sure. I'm still learning. I've got a couple hours in it, probably, like 2 or something. But from what I have played, it is very good. It's very fun to use. Based on the lobby, we'll get to you. But I think it is fun. I think having the 2 different shots actually helps with one of Blaster's biggest problems, which is that if it doesn't instantly win a fight, it usually will lose. It's hard to, like, play out a fight. It's a win or lose situation, which means if you just don't hit that first shot, it's like, GG's. But with this thing, it does have a decent length of time between shots, but because of the jump shots, you can actually take fights up close. And you can also use them to poke around corners a lot better, instead of having to do weird spacing things. And spacing is still important on it, but it's not the hard part of the weapon. It's knowing when to jump, when to use shots, when to coordinate things like specials and stuff. And I like that a lot. It basically makes the blaster more usable and more consistent, which is one of the blaster's biggest problems. I also think that having the direct shot, or the close-up shot, I should say, be a big blast radius, but the further out one be small is also really smart. Because basically it means that, like, you can basically be the sniper, in air quotes, and be precise and get picks. And if you don't, that's fine. You just have to get good at fighting up close, which is fine. Cool. I'm down. I'm so down for that. I also like that you can do the roller thing. For those of you who don't know, on rollers, normally if you jump, you get a different shot, right? But if you push the fire button and then jump, you get you don't get a different shot. You get the same. You get the horizontal shot instead of the vertical one. And you can do this on this weapon too. So if you jump and then shoot, you get a 100% accurate long-range shot in the air, which is really cool. But there is no way to get the short-range shot on the ground, which is a fair trade-off because basically, it's hard in execution to do it consistently and to do it well and to think to do it. But it's just more tech for a weapon that basically makes it higher skill ceiling, but also a lower skill floor. In general, I would just call this the everyman's blaster. Like, even if you don't know how to play blaster, even if it's really hard, if you just mess around with it, you can do fine with this thing. Oh man, ouch, please. The other main weapon, though, the Paintbrush, is, how do I want to put this? So, I'm a good player at this game. Like, I'm not great. I'm not the best. But I would consider myself a decent player at this game. And the Paintbrush is by far my least favorite weapon to fight in the entire game. I think it is stupid. I think the fact that it has enough range to still poke a Nautilus is really dumb. At basically full distance. And I think the windup is not enough for it to matter. Of course, we just get a sick wipeout because I love this blaster, but it's just like... Paintbrush is very good. It will be good competitively, it will be a menace casually. And the only thing that will beat it is, like, ungodly long-range options. So, like, heavy or longer. And, that sucks. I think it's basically... I would describe it as the tri-slosher of brushes, because it just beats shooters. Flat out. It just stomps them. And, that's not super fun, but it's fine. I'm okay with it. And, as you can tell by the fact that even these most brain-dead of solo queue players are going 9-3 with it, it's very easy to play. It needs a nerf, probably. Not like a substantial nerf, but like maybe a little bit of range, maybe a little bit longer on the initial wind-up. Because once you get flicking, it's just like, alright, GG's, shake my hand. It's not like unbeatable right now, right? You just have to play around it well, which is really hard, because it's just got a lot of range and a pretty wide area of effect. And it's a brush, so you don't have to, like, precisely aim it, right? You just have to, like, be kind of looking in their direction and push the button. And if they're close enough, they'll just die. Yeah, so... that weapon is interesting. Yeah, and it does have a really good kit, actually. Curling, I initially was like, why would you want curling bomb on a brush? Just roll. And then once I played it, I was like, you know what? I was wrong. I get it. This thing has such a wind-up time that, like, yeah, okay. Oh, I got double missiled. Great, because Wiper Deco gets 190p missiles. Very cool. That's great. I love that. I love that this is a thing they put in the game. I love that we got a missiles weapon before we got a crab tank weapon. Go, go, go. Got two. Hold up, we're gaming. Okay. Hang on. Go. Go, my dog. Be free. Yeah, but across the board, mess season. There were some quality of life things I didn't really talk about, but I don't care, dude. Cool, I can change weapon and anarchy open, I guess. Yay. A thing that should have been in the game at launch was added. The idols have, like, text lines for each stage. I don't care, I skip the text. I don't care about the idols, I never have. I probably never will. Pearl's the only good one. Also Big Man, but I don't really care. So... cool, I guess, for lore nerds. If you care too much about the story of this game, good for you.